Stephanie Zacharek hated Shrek because it looked real, too real, scary real. Hey guys, if it's your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell right next to it. Now let's take a look at this dumb critic. Am I alone in thinking that computer animation is the work of the Antichrist? Why yes, you are. And I know that I'm not alone in thinking that's the stupidest, weirdest thing I've ever heard. Good lord. People don't even say crap like that when they're high. Am I weird because I eat through my nose? Yes. Yes, you are. I'm ready for the deluge of letters from earnest fans trying to convince me that it's a thrilling new medium that's changing by the day. I mean, this just proves that you can't know the future. Phones you can take with you, that'll never work. One that's cooler, more versatile, and more realistic than conventional 2D animation. Those arguments will probably be technically sound, but they won't explain why movies like Shrek leave me feeling flatter than an old-fashioned animated cell. You're probably right, but it makes me sad. I can understand it if computer animation had been specifically designed to desensitize the human race to thought and feeling. Instead, it's supposed to give us pleasure. You're acting like someone put nails in your food. And I'm imagining someone coming up with a 3D cartoon to make it so you can't think and feel. What if we made the characters three-dimensional? Oh yeah, kids will love that, yes. And it'll make them not think or feel. Huh? I like how my bad guy had a very slight British accent, not even a good one. Have you seen Shrek? It ruins children's minds. It's glorious. The screenwriters of Shrek, Ted Elliott, Terry Rossio, Joe Stillman, and Roger S.H. Shulman revel in joyous, kid-friendly perversity, giving us stock fairy tale and nursery rhyme characters who behave in ways we'd never expect. Can't disagree so much except for the perversity part, and I was just more surprised that that many f***ing people wrote this. We're invited to marvel at the fact that we can practically count the bristly brown hairs on Donkey's back. But what the heck are we doing? Thinking and counting hairs? You were bored enough to count hair? Wow. I don't think I've ever been that bored in my life, ever. I've been at the DMV for 4 f***ing hours and I'd never thought like, I'm gonna count that guy in front of me's hair. The techno-sophistication of Shrek cuts right through the picture's goofy, pleasingly homespun demeanor like a laser, resulting in something that smells a lot like disingenuousness. It wasn't genuine. This weird-ass fairy tale about an ogre wasn't genuine. Ogre, best friend who's a donkey, weird fairy tale shit everywhere. You want genuine? What kind of genuine do you want? I don't understand that. I really didn't feel what the gingerbread man was feeling. We're left feeling self-righteously hip and knowing, and worse yet, we've almost been convinced that's a suitable substitute for enchantment. Are you just saying that the references made us not enchanted? Is that what you're saying? Because that movie enchanted the f*** out of me. Maybe enchantment doesn't come cheap, but is it that much more expensive than extravagant smugness? Is that another thing with the 3D animation thing, that it costs more to do 2D animation? Because animation just in general is expensive, no matter what kind of enchantment you're throwing in there. And how is it so, it's smug? I don't understand how it's smug. Just showing off with your animation and your stories and your references and your characters and your Mike Myers. There's no getting around that the characters in Shrek sure look real in a 3D model kind of way. No, they don't look real. They look animated. They're not supposed to look real. No one was like, that's a real donkey. And if they were, they're 5. The characters move naturally and their expressions make them look almost like live actors. No, they f***ing don't. You insulted 3D animation, and now you think an animated ogre looks like an actor. I understand that you mean it's moving fluidly like a person, but that's just that's stupid. Even if you've never particularly wanted your cartoons to look like a hyper-real version of reality, you've got it now. What movie did you watch? Man, I don't even think there's people with diseases who look like Farquaad. There's nothing real about this. But no matter how realistically these characters move or blink or smile, there's always a coldness about them, particularly around the eyes, that makes them a little spooky. Because they're not real! You think that they're real, but then you look them in the eyes and you realize they're not. Or you look at all of them, or the entire animated scenario, or even the fact that they're like things that don't exist in real life. You know what? They're not real at all, and it doesn't, I don't even know why you had to move to the eyes to figure this out. It's like seeing a chick with purple hair and being like, is that your real hair color? Is that natural? Fiona even has two little freckle-like beauty spots, one on her cheek and one on her upper chest. They're symbols of her human authenticity, but they also serve as a sort of factory trademark left by her creators. You see, we've thought of every last detail. They're artists. The creators weren't sitting there thinking like, hey, if we put these little freckles on her, people will start loving our stuff and sucking our dicks and oh my god. There's a long and varied list of individuals who have imbued cartoon characters with bottomless expressiveness without the help of anything as sophisticated as DreamWorks Expressomatic or whatever it's called. Why do we need it now? Because things progress. Things move forward. There was a time when movies weren't color. Now they are. And I'm sure at the time, most people were like, oh my god, I feel so enchanted by the color. Instead of being like, do we really need the color? Do we? And technology, of course, is the thing that makes a picture like Shrek possible. I don't underestimate the amount of care and work that goes into any animated feature, computer generated or otherwise. But Shrek is a switch flipper of a movie. It repeatedly tries to toggle that little lever in all of us that generates a glow of awe and appreciation. If you're not trying to make a movie that makes you go, wow, that was cool, then why make a movie? That doesn't make any sense. It would be like if musicians never wrote new songs and they just wrote other people's songs again. Oh shit, they do that. Fuck. But I left the characters behind in the movie theater, like discarded and suddenly lifeless puppets, instead of dancing all the way home with them. Yeah, because they're clearly not real. We've established that. In fact, that would have terrified people, especially children. Just some jaded movie critic prancing away with an ogre and a gingerbread man. Just there's no enchantment there, that's just murdery. I didn't have any desire to whisk them away with me. They look too much like work and not enough like magic. You make it. 2D animation feels like magic. 3D animation feels like work. To want your movies to look like no one made them. That's ridiculous. What's behind your ear? It's a movie! If it's your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell right next to it. If you want to see another video from us, hit one of the ones on the screen. Also, we have t-shirts and all kinds of stuff at our shop, and you can click the link on the screen to go to that. And until we see you next time, geek out and game on.